Good morning, Western Slope. Happy Tuesday. I'm Dalen Brazelton. Let's talk about your weather. Folks, get ready for a hot one this week. We have a scorcher planned. It's definitely not going to be pleasant. We are nearing, if not hitting, 100 degrees every single day this week. And on top of that, of course, with the heat, we've got these fire restrictions in place and also some ways to beat the heat here and things to look out for on this day. Right now, though, we're seeing 68 degrees in Grand Junction. Montrose in those mid to upper 50s alongside Delta, Paonia, Nucla, Glade Park, all in those mid 60s. Moab, though, seeing 70 degrees to kick off the morning here. We'll be seeing a pretty gradual increase in temperature for today. And then those 90s heading our way even before noon. And then take a look at this, folks. 98 degrees expected by 2 p.m. and then just maintaining close to that for the rest of the afternoon. We could even be seeing 100 degrees by 3 o'clock here. It's definitely going to be an unpleasant afternoon ahead. For that dog walking forecast, we got Benson hanging out with us here all week, and it's going to be a great morning to take your dog out for a walk, but not much longer after that because we got those low 70s at 8 a.m., pushing into mid 80s by 10, and then there it is, folks, 98 degrees by 2 p.m. If it's too hot for you to walk around on that concrete with your bare feet, it's too hot for them to do the same thing. So keep all that in mind, or hey, maybe be like old Benson here and get out to the mountains. It's a solid 10 to 15 degrees cooler up there. Things shaping up to be a great one, though. Unless you're allergic to things like the pollen, because grasses are still very much a concern right now, sitting in that high pollen count. Weeds and mold in that low section here. I was worried that the moisture would kind of increase the mold a bit, but things at least shaping up to be pretty nice for that. However, we are seeing heat advisories in effect for the Front Range. That's in effect until at least tomorrow evening, and that could be extended even further. The Western Slope, though, shaping up to be nice and clear as far as watches and warnings go, though we do have those fire restrictions in place for a lot of areas around Colorado. However, we haven't added any more counties since the 4th of July at the very least. So this just includes things like setting off fireworks in restricted areas, making sure that you're not setting up fires in non-permanent enclosures and things like that. So just some pretty basic things to follow at the moment here. Now let's talk about heat exhaustion real quick. With it being 100 degrees, this is a very real problem. So if you're feeling nauseous, weak, if you have super heavy sweating, you feel clammy, you may be suffering from heat exhaustion. So make sure that if that is happening, that you move to a cooler place. You're making sure that your clothes aren't super tight. Sip water, do not chug it, of course, and then just make sure that you try to get out of those conditions. Now, heat stroke is the next level of that, folks. That is beyond heat exhaustion. That is when your skin starts to look red, hot. If you've got dry or damp skin, it feels like. If you feel like you're going to lose consciousness and you have a very high body temperature, well, then we're starting to get into some pretty dangerous territory. I would recommend calling 911 if you see someone suffering from heat stroke. Make sure you move them to a cooler location. At that point, fluids is a no-go because it's going to have to be administered through an IV. So do not give them anything to drink at that point in time. And we're just seeing some incredibly hot conditions, especially when it comes to that drought. We're seeing our first batch of exceptional heat right now. As we take a look ahead at that Discovery Auto Group 7-day forecast, we're seeing triple digits not only today, not only tomorrow, but basically for the entire week. And if we don't see it, let me tell you, folks, we're getting pretty close. Montrose hanging out in those mid-90s all week long. No chances for moisture in the atmosphere for this week. Things shaping up to be an incredibly hot one ahead.